Guys, and welcome back to Trap House Garage. It is the following night after the whole debacle with the Dakota, but I kind of wanted to give a little explanation of what went on and what led up to finally finishing it off. As you saw in one of the previous videos, we thought it was done. I mean, we barely made it home. It was knocking. It wasn't a consistent knock. It just came and went, but it was definitely something in the lower end. And like I said, we barely made it home, got it home, tried to start it, and it wasn't having it. It barely would even turn over, like it was about locked up. So it's set for, I don't know, a week maybe. And Rodney was over here and jumped in it just to see what would happen and turned the key, and it fired right up. Idled perfect, wasn't making any weird noises. It was really strange. So we kind of assumed that maybe it got really hot, and I mean, it definitely had a lower end knock, but we're assuming maybe it got really hot, and I don't know. But it fired right up and idled great, so we decided to put it out of its misery for sure. So we hurried up and finished wiring up the nitrous, left the jets in it that were in it, and went out, drove it around for a little while. It was still obviously had a little miss. The knock was still there, inconsistently, if I could talk, but it was still there. So we drove it around for a while. You know, it was all right. Had a bunch of buddies out doing some racing, and of course in Mexico. And we drove it around for a little while, and it got warm again and started missing pretty bad again. So we went back and parked at our normal hangout with everybody, let it cool down as much as we could, and decided to, well, I told Rodney, you know, let's pill it up, pill it to kill it, basically. So I came back and grabbed the entire jet kit that we have and stuck the biggest ones in it that I have, and tried to set up a race. It got all screwed up. Didn't end up getting to race the guy that we wanted to, so we said screw it and just started spraying it like crazy, as you will see in the clips that I'm going to insert after I'm done rambling. But the first hit, it ran harder than it ever has. I mean, it also had a bigger shot in it than it ever had, but it ran really, really good. And for the next, I don't know, he sprayed it about 3 times back to back on the same road. As we got to the end of the road, it had a constant knock, like real bad. We knew that it was about time, but we were pretty far out of town, so he limped it back, kept spraying it on the way back, finally got into town, and started hearing a chirping noise, which I'm assuming was it trying to seize or lock up, whatever you want to call it. He had his foot to the floor, and it was barely holding the speed limit. I mean, it was dying slowly. So as you see in the video, we turn off of the main road onto this side road, and I think he sprayed it one more time, he said. And then as we were going past a building, I wanted you guys to be able to hear what we were hearing, because I don't know how well the video is going to pick it up. So as we went by a building, I stuck my phone out to record the echo, basically. And as I did that, he started to spray it, and you'll see in the video, as I swing the camera around back out the windshield, it had a huge nitrous backfire. I don't know if it was that hurt and that weak, if it couldn't eat up what we were spraying, and just filled it with fuel and nitrous and just blew up, or what happened. But it caught fire. I panicked like a little girl. Jumped out. By the time we got the hood open, it was barely anything. It was just the inside of the airbox that was on fire. Could have probably blew it out, but thankfully Rodney keeps a fire extinguisher, because we've had this happen before. He sprayed it, it went out. Tried to start it, and it had a ton of blow-by, as you'll see in the video. It was blowing smoke out everywhere. It actually launched the dipstick out a couple inches. Uh, it obviously wouldn't start. It was turning over really slow like it was last week. So I ran home, grabbed my truck, came back, hooked up to it, and towed it. And he kept pop starting it behind my truck. And eventually it did start again. So it will run. But he said you try to give it any kind of fuel, any gas, and it smothers itself out. It doesn't want to do anything. And I know I heard behind my truck when he did get it to start, it was rattling super loud. I mean, you can tell it's dead. I mean, our goal really was, we were kind of disappointed in how it went. You know, that a bearing randomly went out or spun, you know, whatever. So our goal last night really was, if it wanted to stay together and just rattle, that was fine by us. We didn't really care. But the end goal was really to sling a rod out of the side of it. I wanted something to hang on the wall, a piece of block, a piston, you know, something. So that's why we jetted it so high, hoping that we could squeeze a rod out the side of it. It still didn't happen. It's still in one piece, no oil dripping, no nothing. It just had a bad nitrous backfire, and it's about seized. Got it back here and tried to turn it over again, and it still didn't want to turn over. It may now. Whenever Rodney comes back, we might try to start it and just see if maybe it'll fire up like it did this past time, even though it's worse now. Obviously, there isn't going to be any more driving it around. It's dead, basically. But it might still start and at least try to idle, maybe. But I'm assuming that's about it, if we can even get it to start. From what we've talked about, he has spare 318s laying around that we're probably going to just sling another one back in it, throw a fresh clutch in it while we're in there. And he did port these heads, as I recorded in a previous video, so we're going to throw these heads back on the new motor that's going to go in it. Plus, he has the Mopar M1 intake, which, if anybody knows stuff about Mopar, apparently they're very sought after and rare, especially the 4-barrel version, which is what he has, and they don't make them anymore. So we will obviously be swapping that onto the new one too. And judging by how it took it last night, the big jet, with no timing box, no nothing, with it being hurt, and it still took it. If it wouldn't be for the bearing trying to lock it up, I think it would have lived. So we're just basically going to leave that in on the new motor. And he has an ignition box, timing box, all that to go on it. We just never did it. So we're going to, of course, put that on the new one so it does last. And, yeah. So whenever he gets some free time, he'll probably go over, pick the his spare up, bring it over here. And one weekend or one night or something, we'll get it tossed in, get a new clutch, get it all thrown in at once, get it put back together, and hopefully the season's not shot for him. I mean, it's barely even started yet. He's got plenty of time. A motor swap isn't going to take but a couple hours. And we'll get one thrown back in it and go from there. Probably, hopefully, if I can talk him into swapping the wiring harness out, because the one that's on the truck is really cobbled together, not from him, but from one of the previous owners of the truck in its past. I mean, there's wire nuts holding stuff together, and if you jerk on the harness in a certain spot, it'll make the truck like rev up or almost die. There's something wrong with it, so he has a spare that we do need to throw on it. So there's a bunch of stuff we need to do, but none of it should take very long. Should be easy. Just pull that motor out, sling a new one in, be back out messing around with it. But I just kind of wanted to give not an update, but an explanation to what went on last night. As you saw the previous video, I said it was blown up, which we thought it was, and then out of nowhere it fired up, so it was kind of a spur of the moment deal last night. But now I'm 99.9% sure it's dead. But I'm going to insert all the clips from last night in here now. I'm probably not going to do any kind of outro to this video. I'll just, when the clips stop, that'll be it. But like I said, just wanted to give an explanation. Enjoy the clips and me acting like a little girl. But we'll see you guys on the next one. As always, please comment, like, subscribe. The Dakota's last ride, boys. Here we go. Dude, it picked up a lot when you hit it.
It rattled a lot. It smells like shit.
Yeah. Dude, it threw me in the seat, though. Yep, it's coming apart, boys. This is it. Oh my God. Come on, girl. Come on. We'll let you cool down. You'll be alright. Come on. Look, no oil pressure.
I'm on the floor.
Are you really?
Yeah. And there's your top.
Fuck him. He's inside. Come on, girl. You got like a couple blocks. If you guys could smell what this smells like. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Oh. Come on, girl.
I ain't gonna make that line.
No, just turn here. At least get off the main road in case it locks up. Cause it, oh my God, it's bad. Oh, watch this part. Get out of the road, motherfucker. Oh. I hope you guys can hear these noises. Oh!
Oh, fire.
Oh, there it went. Oh, get pulled over, get pulled over.
Fire stinker.
Get it, Rodney. Oh, God, it's on fire.
Get the hook.
I'm trying. Oh, where's it at? Get it. Oh, it blew the intake right off. Get your bar to hold this up. Oh, I can taste that, Rodney. Puh. Oh. Dude, are we 100% sure it wasn't still spraying?
All right, go ahead.
Why did it pop? Is that oil in the road? Or is that a manhole cover?
Manhole.
Damn, I looked down and didn't get it. Alright guys, so yeah.
Let me crank it.
Let's see what happens trying to start it. Oh my God. Yeah, it might be cooked. As you see, yeah, I seen that too. It came out of probably the dipstick. It blew the dipstick out a little bit. Well, that's what happens when you try to spray a 200 shot on a hurt motor when it had 0 power left in it. Hopefully you guys seen the fire and everything and me panicking. Dude, it blew the thing for the airbox out again.
Yeah.
God only knows where that's at. It might fire up once it cools for a little bit. It's just struggling to turn over again. Well, that's what happens when Rodney tries to spray it. His foot was on the floor and it had no power, and he tried to spray it anyways.
Hey, it ran for a minute. And then went kaboom.
And see, that's what I was worried about, that it was going to nitrous backfire tonight. But I didn't know you were going to spray it again right there.
I sprayed it right there. I sprayed it. When we come through the stoplight, I sprayed it. You didn't know I was spraying it?
No.
Yeah, when we come through the stoplight, I sprayed it. When we was coming through town, I was spraying it. And then when we come down this road, I hit it again.
And that's when it grenaded the airbox was launched up in the hood.
Oh yeah, show them the hood.
The hood is destroyed. Alright, hurry, or hold on. Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go get my truck to yank it back home, and we'll figure out something there. See what happens. pan?
Yeah, something broke.
Something's clunking around in the pan.
It's still alive though.
Nothing came through anywhere. It's just something let go, I think, right there. That's definitely something hitting the pan.
I don't see no dents in it.
No. I mean, that's sure what it sounded like, though.
Oh, I see antifreeze everywhere.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Well, it still runs. Did it just break?
Yeah.
Did it? It's still not locked up, though.
It had oil pressure.
Come on.
Dodge.
Why will it not die?
It's a Dodge.
Look at it smoking out of everywhere.
Yeah, that's probably leftover.
Did you see how much blow-by it had?
Yeah. Yeah, it was puffing like a fucking 12 valve.